Falls among older adults are on the rise, with neuropathy playing a big role. Here to explain and share solutions is Dr. Charles Heuser from Heuser Chiropractic. Good morning, Doc.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
I'm kind of excited to talk about this because the National Institute of Health has called falls in older adults an epidemic. So why is it becoming such a major concern right now, Doc?
It's a major concern because people, as they age, they're older, and our diet's worse now.
Yeah.
But people are getting older and they develop degenerative diseases such as peripheral neuropathy, diabetes, cognitive declines, dementia, all kinds of problems like that. And that's and hearing losses and visual losses, and all these are contributing to the epidemic of all these falls. And so the older, if your mother or your father has fallen once, there's a 50% chance they're going to fall again. And if they fall twice, the third time, they tend to go to nursing homes or assisted living. And once they go to assisted living or nursing homes, there's a likelihood they're not getting out. But there's 38 million falls by the elderly a year.
That's incredible.
Leading to 38,000 deaths, and never mind injuries. And those are the ones that were just recorded. A lot of people fall and we never hear about it. So the interesting thing is, I started doing some research on this, and people, they tend to explain away their falls, the elderly. So, oh, the little bump in the carpet, or the transom of the door. But if they were younger, if they were 10 years younger or 15 years younger, their reflexes would be able to accommodate for that, and their vision would be able to accommodate for that, and their vestibular apparatus in the feet and in the ears would be able to accommodate for that. But as you get older, those start to degenerate. But what we do is we're going to be able to bring those back for you.
Really?
And we're successfully doing that, and in particular with peripheral neuropathy, but also the vestibular apparatus. So I'm just begging you not to let your loved ones, your mother, your father, or yourself, or your wife, or your husband, once they've fallen, they really need to come see me, because it could be a matter of life or death.
Yeah.
So we're doing a deal too. So for $29, we're going to do an evaluation. We're going to do a gait analysis, balance testing. We'll find out what about the weakness in the lower extremities, weakness in the lower back, and we can fix those things. So it doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to end up in a hospital or assisted living or a nursing home.
You've got a lot of solutions over at Heuser Chiropractic,
We do.
Including one of these balance boards. So why don't we kind of share with our audience a little bit about what this contraption is and how it works?
Okay. So what we'll do is, one of the things that we do is we're going to check your balance, and this exactly tells you if you're even off balance. If you're not off balance, there may be other issues going on. So we do have somebody.
We got a model, Kirk. Come on in, Kirk.
And we're going to test this out.
Are you? How do you feel about your balance, Kirk?
We'll see. We'll see how I feel.
So what you do is you just stand on it?
Okay. Okay.
By the way, this is the amazing Amber. She's
Hi, Amber.
a great assistant.
I'm going to have you put your hands on your hips, look forward in a neutral position for me, and try to stay as still as you possibly can without lifting your feet, okay?
I wish I could show you. And what is this machine going to tell you, Amber?
It traces as he moves, and it measures his movements to see how he can stay still. This is a trial test. After this, we'll do the rest three, or the other three, with his eyes closed, because your balance significantly changes with your eyes closed.
And this is something that they can do right at Heuser's, correct?
We will do that at Heuser, along with the gait analysis and testing for strength in the extremities and in the lower in the hips and the lower back.
For our viewers who might be watching while Kirk is getting kind of all situated right here, what are some symptoms that people really should notice and note to maybe, hey, I need to make an appointment with Dr. Charles?
Yeah, so I would, first of all, numbness, burning, problems with the feet. So peripheral neuropathy, a lot of it's coming from diabetes, but it's not the only cause of it. But if you have those symptoms, those are the main symptoms.
Yeah.
Just if you find yourself tripping and falling, I mean, just simple things like that. But I can't believe after I started doing research how many people, and then I started talking to my patients, of which we have thousands of them.
Yeah.
So many of them don't tell me that, and now we're that's one of the questions we ask in the examination. We're getting great results with these people. They're getting out of the assisted living, getting out of the nursing homes, and leading lives. And think about this. So typically the medical doctor or the GP might just go, well, use a walker, use this, but that is not a good way to live your life. Wouldn't it be better to make them stronger and make them be able to and be resilient and be able to walk and be able to go out socially, right?
All right, if we've got viewers at home right now that want to take advantage of that $29 special that you're offering, or maybe see what you guys have to offer and the solutions that you guys have at Heuser Chiropractic, how easy is it to get in contact with you?
Well, you can call us at 719-574-6006. We'll get you right in. And let me also tell you this. If you're not satisfied with your evaluation, we'll give you your money back. That's no problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you, Doc. You're doing
Yeah.
everything. All right, Amber, how did Kirk do?
He is at moderate risk for fall.
Moderate risk for fall. All right, Kirk, we got to get you an appointment in with Heuser. Head online or call that number you see on your screen to schedule that $29 consult and treatment package. You won't regret it. This segment has been brought to us by Heuser Chiropractic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.